Libra.
Now we're going to be looking at your solar chart for the full year of 2013 in your star sign. And basically what we're going to do today is take Mars, where it currently is now in January, and follow its motion and to see where it kind of ends up at the end of the year. What this will do will help to jumpstart you, knowing where Mars is, where you can hone in on the best energy available to you, which Mars is all about, and which arena of life is affecting you, so you can take that action and start building and see what you can accomplish there by the end of 2013. Also, we're going to look a little bit at Jupiter. I'm not going to give too much attention to it. It's only going to change a sign here throughout the year. And besides, we're going to be covering that on a monthly basis on your monthly tubes anyhow. But most interestingly is the big challenge we're all facing with that Uranus-Pluto. We all have it in our charts. We all have it in different parts of our charts. So I want to kind of scope out to you on your specific star sign to see where it's sitting, where Uranus is sitting, and where it's going to be hitting Pluto, and what your specific challenge is going to be. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. And challenges are always a big punch, but it doesn't have to be a negative thing. See, when we know what it's about, we drop fear. We only fear what we don't know, and this is when we turn all rigid and we kind of scramble to kind of hang on to old security, and where we freeze. See, it's like if we take another image and think about somebody who's drowning. What's the difference between somebody drowning and somebody coming in by free will, coming in and saving that person? What's the difference between the victim and the hero? The hero is in the same waters, same waves, and yet feel very, very comfortable and secure. It's because he's forewarned and forearmed. And this is what I want to give you, because these challenges will give a punch to all of us, no matter where we are. But when we know which area of our life it's going to affect, then we can look at what can we do about it. How can we actually stay a step ahead and take the challenge and rise it. See, because not all challenges have to be a bad thing. Sometimes they come around with radical changes so that we, in a very quick way, can change direction. And sometimes it will just prompt us and throw us straight onto our life purpose. And this is how I want you to look at it. What good can you get out of the challenges in the sky here of 2013? Hello Libra, and happy 2013. We're going to take a look at your annual forecast, and the way I'm going to do that is starting out with Mars. Mars is the planet that gives us our drive and our ambitions and catapults us towards our goals. And I want you to know exactly where you're going to start off the year, and we're going to follow it throughout 8 of your life sections, so that you will know what's coming in behind the others, so you can really focus on where to use this energy throughout the year, just so Mars doesn't get scattered all over the place. When we focus on the life area upon which it touches and flow with those cycles is when you can max out on getting the most of it. And this is only because Mars will only visit each of these sectors once every 2 years, and you only get a few weeks at doing it. So you want to, of course, cash out how Mars can help you get where you want to go. And for you, Libras, you're going to start off here with Mars being focused in your 5th house. This is the house of children, joy and creativity, and leisure time. And so you're really going to start off the month here with having just a lot of fun throughout January. Enjoying your children. Some of you might be visiting. They might be there visiting you. There might be news as far as pregnancy, and either you being pregnant or somebody in the family. You can get news becoming a grandparent, for example. So whatever the deal is, I want you to just really take this time to enjoy. It also represents the area of true love, so a lot of you might be just overly romantic here in the month of January, coming into February. So enjoy it while you can, because you're going to be working and really, really busy, because the workspace is going to be craving your attention more than what it has for the last 2 years. And this is co-workers, day-to-day routines. It's like suddenly things are piling up, and maybe we had too much fun in the beginning of the year that you also might have allowed things to slide a little bit, so now you got to catch up again. So they're late winter, early spring. I see this is what Mars is going to do. You may also start focusing a little bit on health and diets, getting on track with your physical self as well. All said and done, this is the time now you'll be entering into partnerships and marriage, the one-on-one communications and interactions. And so for you Libras that are married, I see you for several weeks there spending extra time on how you could tweak and balance up and work out whatever needs to be worked out with your spouse. So when we only have like a few weeks every other year to kind of focus on this area of partnerships, we want to make the most out of it. Why? Because this is a time you're in charge, you're in power to actually call the shots, to balance things up, to weed things out. And if we're looking at, say, a work partnership, any kind of venture there, you may be taking the lead, and they may be expecting you to take that lead, because you're like, I see you in the forefront there, and they're looking to you for guidance and for action. So a very busy time, and I think it's going to be a great time because I see how you can enjoy it to, what should I say, bring into this arena new concepts for you. Of course, you know, it's always about balance. It's about harmony and beautifying things. So whether this is your marriage or working with your partner, it's all about breaking away with what doesn't work for you and putting in new concepts there. The 8th house is your taxes. It is also venture capital. It's royalty and commissions, insurance companies, anybody who banks, anybody who's holding your money or where you're dependent on some source of income. Mars is going to be looking into that house there, and for several weeks I see that you can talk to people that's necessary to bring things home or even things out. If it's about child support, you may be working on those things. And you might feel that you have to sacrifice some of the other things you're doing at the time, because this is going to be calling you, you know, to the forefront to deal with this. And I see you being on charge with it, so that is, you know, good. You're going to be able to settle what needs to be settled. And this is just before you're going to start in on some new research. You might be wanting to take some classes, or you might be traveling, and if so, it's going to be to foreign places or afar. You can get in touch with people from out of country, or that think differently from you, or they're coming from different backgrounds. Yeah, and publishing, writing. I see a lot of you might have spent a lot of time here on gathering information, wanting to put things together. It could be an ebook, or it could be a lecture, or it could be a presentation. Whatever that deal is, this is going to be really awesome for you this year to actually focus on getting it out there. And this is like halfway through the periods. I'd say around there, June, July, is a great time for you to present whatever it is you have to publishing houses, or to get it out on the wires, on the web. But also don't limit yourself to national. You probably want to think international, going out with it, because I see how other countries may be totally open to what concepts you have to share. And in fact, you can even do better outside of this country than you could do inside of the country, only because you have Jupiter there, and whenever Mars and Jupiter connects, it expands anything that Mars is doing, and this is in your house of publishing and foreign countries and cultures. If you're traveling at this time, it's going to be a fantastic trip for you. One of those that you will very late forget. So good luck to you on that here midsummer. Once you have this completed, and you only have a window there of 3 to 4 weeks, so but once that is completed, I see you kind of really diving into your career, and probably also getting a lot of kudos for what you have accomplished, because now I see it's time for receiving fame for what you have done, recognition for what you've done, and I see people being proud of you, you being proud of yourself as well. And so there might be new contracts and connections and people coming in wanting to secure whatever it is you're going to be providing. And then, you know, it's been quite a busy year for you, 2013. 2012 was touch and go, and you know, you tried to get ahead, and then there was delays and setbacks, and so you were kind of incrementing at the time. Whereas right now it's more like I see that you're just moving, you're pushing ahead, and so there will be a time now that you can reconnect with a lot of friends and spend some more time with them, as you might have had to sacrifice some of it, but a good time to get together. It's a good time for new hopes, wishes, and dreams, and you might be thinking, okay, now where do I take this? Everything that I've done, where do I go with it? You know, do I continue a new cycle with it and leave it be there, or should I grow it and expand it to something even more? So you're going to be brainstorming and thinking and interacting and networking with people, and maybe new groups coming in that can be very influential for you. And again, I'm still seeing how you're absorbing some of the rays from what you have achieved this year throughout the latter part of it. So you're kind of coming into the end of the year where it's just going to be more peaceful, restful, the need to kind of just, you know, listen to yourself and your dreams, not really too social there in November, and it's a time for you to just chill out, actually. After busy phases, we do need that to recharge, and it's more like going into what the Aborigines call for dream time, and that's where you're really cooking up new concepts, and this is what you're going to, from that point, be using over the next 2 years. So it's an important time. But right there, end of the year, December, probably from end of November there, I see you resurfacing, coming out really strong, reinvigorated with these new concepts and ideas, and showing it to the world. And I see you balancing these new things, and very excited to see how people will be receiving this for you too. So you're kind of like, okay, where is this, and how can I work with this for the next cycle? But hey, listen, I wanted to really touch on the major challenge of the year, which we're all going to be facing one way or another. For you Librans, it is going to be between your home and your partner, whether that's a spouse or a working partner. Changes, okay? And you might have already started to feel this, a lot of you, especially you early Librans might have had this here, you born within the first week. The second week, Librans are starting to really open up to the fact of, oh my God, what is this? At first, what happens when these new energies start hitting you is things out of the blue may just blow up on you, and unexpected situations, either from your partner or it could be you kind of getting a little antsy and feeling the need to kind of get out of the rut, especially if things have been held down or too tight, or where you haven't been able to grow or expand. This sense of individuality is going to be really strong with you. And you're wanting to express more of who you are. You're wanting to come out. You've been so good about always holding balance and the chill between people and places and partners and whatnot for the sake of peace. But now it's like you're seeing that who paid the price? You paid the price. And you're not fully willing to want to do that no more, unless they can get onto your page. You've always been on their page, but they need to meet you on your page. Or I see that this feeling of wanting to rebel or break away, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing, so don't fear it. It could also be that you see your partner is the one who's changing and wanting to kind of like loosen up a little bit or have more space. Uranus needs that space, that individual space. And that might trigger some fear in you, because why is he or she changing? You know, it's like your partner would feel fear if they see you're changing. So communication is going to be everything. It's better to speak about it and say, hey, listen, I need a little bit more space because I'm trying to figure out where I'm wanting to go with my life. And that's all Uranus is actually asking for, is for you to find out what you want to do different in your life. And it just happens to be in your sector of partnerships and marriage. And then it's being challenged to the home, the physical residence where you live. So some of you might see that there might be a need to either rebuild or restructure your home from the foundation and up. It looks like those foundations could have been somewhat, what should I say, threatened, you know, challenged, a little quaky there, like a symbolic earthquake or flood going on. And physically too, that may have happened. Some of you might have been in the area of Sandy, for example. That would show definitely where this could manifest in your life. But it's also the symbolic foundations of where you live within yourself too. It's your roots, it's your past, it's looking to how can I do things differently and how can I heal the past. Some of you will be looking at very old wounds, you know, going back to your childhood maybe, and how that has affected you and how you've carried that throughout life. And now looking at, you don't want to carry it. You want to be free it once and for all. So transformational energies here in that deep psyche of yours, and that Uranian factor may be the trigger or also be the helper to get some of these very needed structures, the rigid structures in your life to kind of split away. Anything good that's in your life, of partnerships or your spouse, of course, will always stay. Don't fear that something good is going to leave. It's only what is no longer needed that Pluto wants to shed. Okay, it will, anything that's outlived its purpose needs to go, because you're growing new skin in under, so to speak. And you will see that after the fact, and this may be lasting here for not just 2013, you have these aspects for several years to come. So the early ones, you've already started to go through it. The later Liberians, you'll be having this for the next 8 to 13 years. So all depending on when you're born, you'll see that this comes through. But yeah, don't fear these things. It's only scary things that we don't know. And the unknown will always challenge us to actually seek out and figure out why things are happening. It's when we achieve understanding is when we can start embracing and embedding those new things. And this is where Pluto will do the magician trick on you and transform you to this new person that you're becoming. Okay, so that's this for this year. You have a lot of exciting things happening elsewise in your chart, and this will change, you know, not these fundamental aspects, but you have on a month-to-month basis all different types of transits and aspects coming in to really enlighten and brighten up this chart. And you've got so many great things happening for you, career-wise also, in the latter part of the year. So do subscribe for your monthly scopes so we can take a look at all those goodies coming in. So take care.